This is Joe Park. We're recording for the Oklahoma Living Legends Library here on January the 24th, 1970, during the Midwinter Convention of the Oklahoma Press Association. We're interviewing Mr. Wheeler Mayo. Mr. Mayo, we'd like to begin with some biographical information about you, where you were born, when you came to Oklahoma, when you got into the newspaper business, and some of the conditions that existed at that time as far as newspaper was concerned, and then we'll try to contrast that with the conditions that exist now and may exist in the future. We'll try to show the development of the industry in Oklahoma and the trends that point the development for the future. So if we'll just begin then by with some biographical information, if you don't mind.
Is it on now?
Yes, just over there. You don't even have to hold it up close.
I was born in Sallisaw, Indian Territory on May the 14th, 1902. I'm the son of William Dale Mayo and Jesse Wheeler Mayo. My grandparents moved to, great-grandparents moved to their, on my mother's side, moved to the territory in 1836 over the Trail of Tears, coming from Uachila, Georgia, where my great-grandfather and his brother-in-law, John F. Wheeler and Elias Boudinot, published the Cherokee Advocate for the Cherokee Nation. My grandfather, Wheeler, had always told his children that he had, I believe his 4 sons, that if you ever call, and the daughters too, that if you ever called them in a print shop, he'd cut their fingers off. The reason he said this is a boy, he had to stick type in his, back in the old handset days, he had to stick type in Fort Smith he stood on a soapbox, he and his brother. And they missed a generation in there, and then the next generation, the second generation away, there's 7 of us, either in the newspaper business or writing of some type. As I say, I was born and educated through the high school and grade school at Sallisaw. Then I went to the University of Colorado, came back, Depression hit. I went into contracting business. I'd been farming with my dad. We had about 1,400 acres of land, but cotton wasn't worth picking. My father was the largest sweet potato grower in the United States at that time. Sweet potato prices went down. So I looked around. I'd married Florence Marie Baker of Denver, Colorado, who I'd met as a college courtship. One of the dumb things I've done in my life is when I didn't marry her when I first met her, because after my senior year, I made much better grades because she saw to it. She was a cum laude student, and she decided the course she made me study. But we came on home, and for 2 years I was in the contracting business, and finally, with the closing of the banks, and I could foresee that in the contracting business you had to have heavy equipment that would cost millions, and I'd always had a yen for newspapers. So we took my insurance money, which had a loan value at that time of $975, large up to the hilt on it, and the Sequoia County Times was born. Through the help of people like Glenn Strong of the Okemah Ledger, Tom Phillips of the Holdenville News, and several more prominent early day newspapermen in Oklahoma, we thrived as much as a newspaper in those days could thrive. I had 2 printers working for me. I was paying one of them $12 a week and the other $15, and I had to go out and get a job so I could meet the payroll, because in the early days while newspapering, we had to take blackberry jam, or the people that supported were just canning blackberries were not even sweetened. But I made a deal with another fellow there that he would buy the blackberries from me, and I always had my suspicions of what he did with it, because there's too many blackberries just to eat. And what he made tasted pretty good too to a printer. But after 2 years, a year and a half of working at another job, we decided that the paper had gotten along far enough where I could make a living for my wife and my son Dick, Richard Wheeler Mayo, who had been born in this about that time. And from my handset weekly, I never will forget, one early morning we were setting type. We were in an old store building there, and it was a handset weekly. The sun came up on Friday morning. I pied a whole galley of type for the front page. I threw the galley down. I told Florence, I said, "Oh, I'm going to Oklahoma City." And she said, "What for?" And I said, "I'm going to buy a line of type." She said, "What with?" I said, "Darned if I know, but I'm going to come back with a line of type." I got over here and I found Tom Jenkins at the Huckins Hotel, and Tom was still in bed. And I got him. It took me a day and a half to get into this old Model T I was driving. Tom got up. He still had his bathrobe on, and he got his pipe out, which was necessary for Tom to operate. Sat on the side of the bed and cut a contract out. Said he had a good machine over here in a brief office, or a brief printer's office, that he's selling it for $1,000. I said, "I'll take it." And he started filling out the contract, and he said, "How much you pay down?" I said, "I got $25. Tom looked at me and dropped his pipe on the floor, and he looked at it and said, $25? He said, if you've got nerve enough to just offer me 25, I got nerve enough to recommend we take it. Take your offer. So we got the line of type out of the second-story building. I had to go out and borrow $25 from Ed McDonald, the Secretary of the Highway Commission, to pay the OK transfer people for moving it out of the second story down onto our truck. Well, we got it home, and then I swapped a gallon of moonshine to Glenn Strong's head machinist to come over and assemble it for me. Well, it took Glenn came with him, of course. It took Glenn, the machinist, my operator, and myself 2 days to get it up, and we ran out of the juice, the energy juice, and so I contacted my friend who'd been taking all the blackberries, and he just happened to have blackberry wine, so we finished up on that, and the machine ran beautifully, and since that time, we've been getting along all right. I've owned several line of types, way back to the original plant we had. We started out on an old Gordon 12 to 18 job press, and went from that to a 2-page tabloid size Babcock to Century Camel 2 Revolution, Century Camel to a Gauss Comet that I bought off of the Lawton News, and from that now we're printing on a 32-page Gauss straight liner with that has a color hump. We can print. We run it. I believe we run more color than any weekly in the state.
What's your circulation area? How far is your circulation?
It's that whole big basin area, what you call the big basin area, which extends over in Fort Smith. We print 5,500 papers, what it takes to get out. We're the largest page circulation of any non-metropolitan weekly in the state of Oklahoma. We have 32 honor racks out over our trade area. We have 3 in Fort Smith. We have 4 in, I believe, in Adair County, and 3 in Cherokee County, 2 in LaFleur County, 3 in Muskogee County, the rest of them in Sequoia County. I believe we have one in Haskell County, too.
What do you think, why does the weekly continue to be as popular as it is?
Because people read it. Any newspaper, whether it's weekly or daily, if you produce something that's readable, they're going to buy it.
What does the community expect of its community newspaper? What does it expect then, and has that changed?
In the first place, they expect integrity. That's the main thing, is integrity. We give both sides of the story, but that editorial or my column is where I can say what I think, and I say it. We run good feature stories. We have Eric Allen now, who is who's president of the Western Writers Association, who's our managing editor. We have Jim, who's a graduate of the University of Oklahoma School of Journalism. One of the proudest moments of my life was when my daughter Andrea graduated from the University of Oklahoma. She was the third one, made number 3 of my children. All my children were graduates of the University of Oklahoma School of Journalism, and I think it's the best journalism school in the world, not just the United States, but in the world. I appreciate what Dr. Holland and John Casey and Ms. Moore and Grace Ray and Bryson and Herbert, Bob, and Peterson, Bob Peterson. Bob Peterson he was one of the groups that helped me in the starting stage. Lord, we didn't even have money enough to buy advertising mats, and these boys all gave me their old mats to take over to where I could run.
What do you think, what effect has the offset printing presses had on your operation? And what effect has it had on the industry?
Well, it's been to clean up, for one thing. My contention has always been that there wouldn't be the need for offset printing if us letterpress people would keep our equipment clean and would try to do the job you've got to do with an offset. You just can't throw a form of an offset press in front of paper. You've got to be cautious and very careful on what you do. If we treated an offset press, and I'm being interested in the Claremore Daily Progress with Ed Livermore, where we put a complete new offset plant in, well, I know that my page cost is less than theirs. I think I'm doing a better job than they are, as good a job. Yet I think we print I think Don Dodd is printing one of the outstanding offset dailies in the state. But now we have in our plant now, we have 5 line types. We've got 2 on the ad alley or crap mill. We've got 2 with tail typesetters on them. We've got one it's a backup machine, a Model 5 with a swing out keyboard type. And there's been times everybody said I was crazy every time I've had a press change. There's been my buddies here in the state that said, "You're crazy, you're nuts, you're going broke." But I found out this, that when you make these improvements and you got to pay for them, you get out and hustle. And we have tried to hustle. And we've got one policy there on news. I don't care whether it's some friend of mine or somebody that thinks of an enemy of mine that thinks that he doesn't like me. If he's done something that's worthwhile, why, it goes into the newspaper.
Has this been true in state newspapering always?
I think so. I think it's more true now. I believe in this younger generation. We've had a group in this state that a lot of people refer to as rougher elements that have walked where others have feared to tread. I've been associated with a lot of them, and press meetings and all. And that group would come to a meeting, and they're there they might have a lot of fun, but they're also getting more out of the meeting than the average fellow that just want to be there. I've never gone into anybody's print shop in my life that I didn't come out with an idea. Some way that might help my operations
what do you think of the future of the weekly? Is it going to have to change its role, or is it going to continue its present role and continue to thrive?
You remember President Roosevelt said that what we have to fear most is fear itself. I feel the same way about the weekly newspaper. That a lot of us are, and I'm not one of them either, is fearing the future. And that word fear is going to have a detrimental effect on the way they're going to serve their community. When I go to bed at night, I don't worry about what tomorrow, I'm going to meet tomorrow. I don't worry about what happened yesterday. That's gone. There's nothing I can do about it. And if I see something that I think one thing that the weekly newspapers are the most successful have been those that have protected the interest of the little man, the average citizen. And we'll always have people who agree to it, and it's the average citizen that pay the price. But you show me a weekly newspaper, and I think that's the one that's doing the protecting, is your weekly newspaper. Your editor is close to the people. He knows what they're thinking. And he reflects that thought in his newspaper. We've had situations over there where the town would have been tied up for 100 years with a very unscrupulous contract. Jim Wadey, my son, is now taking the lead in the newspaper, just fresh out of the Navy and school in the Navy and then home. He called him. And he stood pat. There's 20 on this committee of citizens who've been sold this bill of goods. Jim stood up at once and said, "No, I won't vote on that. I'm not fair with it, and I'm going to fight it." And he beat hell out of it. He beat it. And there's been other instances where people were not informed. If you inform the people, they'll stay with you. But you try to put something on, you can't fool them anymore. You got a lot smarter audience now than 20 years ago. Reminded the story about the little boy that his daddy got a hold of and said, "The only time you and I have a father and son talk." He said, "Well, what do you want to know, Dad?" The younger generation can tell us things if we just listen. I don't think there's been a generation gap. I think that if there's a generation gap, it's within that family. It's where the father has failed to listen to his children. And I don't mean, and I think it's where the children have failed to listen to their father too. Someone said the generation gap is the distance from the woodshed to the house. And that's one of the gaps. I don't advocate beating children because I've raised 3 of them. I love all of them, and I think they're good citizens. I haven't had to get any of them out of jail or in trouble with them, but angels I know.
Do you see a threat even to the smaller communities? Are people leaving your community going to the metropolis?
Yeah, but we've got a reverse trend now. See, our town has went down I believe 1920. We had about 1,900 in Sallisaw, and I believe that your 70 census will show around 63 to 6,500. Of course, this navigation program on the Arkansas has had a lot to do with it. The growth of Fort Smith has had a lot to do with it. The growth of plants moving into Sallisaw, development of some of our natural resources. It's all played a major role in there, and I don't know of any improvement that has come to Sallisaw from what the Sequoyah County Times hadn't played a part in. The fact of the matter is, a lot of the old folks say that we just played hell in the town, and what we're going to do with all these empty houses when they move out.
We
got the Kerr McGee plant coming. We've got American Horse. There'll soon be announced ammonia hydrous plant there. There's a furniture plant moving in there. There's a plastic plant moving into Bayonne. We're behind anything. We're for anything that'll help develop the country. And that's been the role we've played and we're going to continue to play. I could go out of the picture tomorrow. Jim will carry on. Jim and Dick will carry on. It wouldn't make any difference if it closed the one down account of the funeral.